Got a lot to talk about. Thanks for joining us for KARE 11 News at noon. The news, it keeps rolling in. We have to look at President Trump's first full day in office, more about a popular Twin Cities restaurant that's closing its doors. But first, Jamie, I think most folks are waiting to hear about when this cold is going to end.
Yes.
Help us.
It is going to be ending soon. We
Okay.
actually have a warming trend. I think folks have been waiting for those two words for a while. It's not warm outside, but is a warming trend. -4, feeling like 20 below. We're actually improving, believe it or not. Southwest winds. Oh, thank goodness. There they are. 9 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the rest of your afternoon. We'll see a little cloud cover coming in for later today, but notice those temperatures, they keep climbing and climbing, single digits above zero. That's a nice change of pace. And just now, moments ago, the extreme cold weather warning that expired at 12 noon. So we are clear of any advisories, any warnings concerning temperatures right now. We'll certainly be keeping a close eye on temperatures. As you can see right here, numbers take a little bit of a dip there on Thursday. We're going to talk about that, but I think you'll enjoy a lot of those 20s, a lot of mid-20s over the next couple of days. So we do have that warming trend really taking hold as we get closer to the weekend.
All right, anything above zero is a good day. Thanks, Jamie. Hey, we're not the only ones dealing with the cold. Southern states are seeing the start of potentially historic snow. It's going to affect more than 200 million people. In Houston, the Bush and Hobby airports are still closed because of snow and sleet. Governors in Mississippi and Louisiana declared states of emergency so their crews have better access to resources. Let's see what conditions it looked like just a few hours ago. We have a look from our sister station, WWL-TV in New Orleans.
I am out here in Destrehan and the snow has been falling. It's been falling for several hours. I want to show you the highway here. How much snow has accumulated since just after 6 o'clock this morning. But I'm going to have you pan back around this way so I can show you just how much snow has accumulated. I'm going to put my ruler in right here. And we're looking at 1.5 inches of snow just in the last few hours in southeast Louisiana, where we don't typically see snow, but the snow is falling, will continue to fall, and we'll keep you updated. In Destrehan, Eleanor Tabone, WWL, Louisiana.
I hope everyone can stay safe down there. KARE 11 is here to help keep up with the forecast. If you haven't already, scan the QR code on your screen to download the free KARE 11 app. You'll get weather alerts and live radar anytime. Well, developing right now in Minneapolis, police say 2 men are dead after 2 separate shootings. They happened just over 12 hours ago and were just minutes apart. This was the scene near East 34th Street and 3rd Avenue South just after 9 last night. Officers say that's when they found a man with at least 1 gunshot wound. He died at the hospital. 10 minutes later, officers say they were called to an alley just northwest of that location off Harriet Avenue. Someone reported a body being dumped. Police say they found a man with several gunshot wounds who later died at the hospital. So far, no one's been arrested, and MPD is still determining whether the incidents are related. Well, it's now exactly 1 week since an Apple Valley pizza delivery driver disappeared. Based on evidence, investigators believe Xu Zhang may be experiencing a mental health crisis. Police found Zhang's car in Superior, Wisconsin on Sunday, but there's still no sign of him. Officers say between the cold and his abnormal behavior, they want to find him as soon as possible. Taking a live look now at the White House. Today marks President Donald Trump's first full day of his second term. He's looking to fulfill several of his campaign promises with a series of executive orders. Today, attention is turning to how they'll be enforced. NBC's Chris Pollone brings us those details.
It is the first full day of the second Trump presidency, and today the nation's new leader is turning his attention here to Capitol Hill, meeting at the White House later today with Republican House and Senate leaders to talk about his legislative agenda. We also expect to hear from the president speaking from the White House later today about infrastructure, according to his White House spokesperson. While Monday was filled with a lot of inaugural ceremonies and celebrations, the president still managed to set his agenda into motion, signing dozens of executive actions and orders. One of the most substantial acts, pardoning nearly all of the people convicted of January 6 related crimes. President Trump pardoned or commuted the sentences of more than 1,500 people, some who committed violence against police officers during the 2021 Capitol riot. One former convict celebrated by cutting off his ankle monitor. The president also signed an order ending birthright citizenship for children born to undocumented parents. That right is enshrined in the Constitution, and the change is already being challenged in court. The president also declared an emergency at the southern border and promises to send American troops there and ordered Congress not to take action against the app TikTok for 75 days, despite the deadline for its Chinese owners to sell it passing on Sunday. On Capitol Hill, more of Mr. Trump's nominees will go before Senate committees for confirmation hearings. Last night, the Senate unanimously confirmed Senator Marco Rubio to be Secretary of State. And it appears that the president will be leaving Washington later this week. He and his aides have mentioned potential trips to California and North Carolina to view disaster damage. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Before handing over the office, former President Biden issued several pardons and commuted the life sentence of Native American activist Leonard Peltier. Peltier was convicted of killing 2 FBI agents on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota and has been in prison for nearly 5 decades. He was also part of the American Indian movement that started in Minneapolis back in 1968. Its members over the years have even marched to D.C. calling for his release. There has long been scrutiny over how his case was investigated and his trial conducted, but presidents on both sides of the aisle have refused to intervene.
We are not free as a people until Leonard is free. And he represented that resistance for us, that traditional way of being, of fighting this Western system that has issued so much trauma on our people.
Peltier is in declining health and will spend his final days in home confinement. Meanwhile, the South Dakota Attorney General office released a statement writing in part, Peltier's conviction has been upheld by no fewer than 22 federal judges, and that will continue to stand with law enforcement. In Iowa, a state senator has a new proposal to buy 9 Minnesota counties. This afternoon, we're hearing from at least one city on the border that wants to stay in Minnesota.
Of all the people that I've talked to and seen posts on social media, it was pretty much overwhelming. Over my dead body, no way, no, we're not going to even think about it. Basically, no, we are Minnesota.
That was Laverne Mayor Patrick Bastian. He says the idea from Iowa State Senator Mike Boozelo is nothing more than a political stunt, but it's not the first time a state has proposed changing boundaries. Political experts say it's coming up more as the country becomes more polarized.
This has been greatly amplified by partisan politics and especially factional politics. And it's a real urban-rural split. We see these factions really differentiating themselves.
In eastern Oregon, there's the Greater Idaho movement, and some Indiana Republicans are looking to redraw borders with Illinois, but altering state boundaries would be a lengthy and involved legal process. Listen to this. A Twin Cities restaurant staple has closed its doors. The owners of Revival abruptly shut down all 3 locations just this week. The restaurant, known for its fried chicken, has been around for nearly a decade. There was no specific reason given for the closure, but in their farewell post, the Revival team said, quote, "It's no secret owning a restaurant is one of the toughest journeys, and it truly breaks our hearts to take this step."